Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Inside Lion Athletics. Charlie Chitwood here. We're going to start right out of the box. It's basketball season. Jaret von Rosenberg, head coach of the Lion men's team. Coach, 1-1 in the last two, but boy, did you have time in between them.
Yeah, it was obviously a unique week dealing with weather and everything like that. But, went on the road without practice for 4 days, and we really just didn't do a good job. Want to give them a little bit of credit. They really contested shots and made it tough for us to score inside. But we had stretches. We just put ourselves in too many holes, and we couldn't climb out of that third one.
Yeah, Coach, there have been games, and we've talked about it in post-gamers too, where you just couldn't go these long gaps without coming up with a bucket. How do y'all work with the guys about stuff like that? I mean, it's about shots going in.
Yeah, but and you got to stay the course. It's been a problem for us when we go on stretches. We kind of stop guarding too, and that's where you see the leads. I mean, just go all the way back to SFA. It's a 2-point game. And they end up winning by 20+, and you can't let the scoreboard dictate how you play. So you have a bad possession offensively, it shouldn't affect defense, and then vice versa. When you give up a couple buckets, you gotta find a way to get a quality shot. And there's too many times we just don't even get a quality shot. We do something off script, and it's not one person. It's this guy takes a time doing it. This guy takes a shot he knows he's not supposed to take, and it kind of snowballs on us. So. This last go-around, as far as 11 games left, we're halfway through the conference season. That's something that's got to be better. Whether we win or lose, how we play throughout the 40 minutes has got to be more consistent.
You've coached this long enough. You see if they can't get a shot to fall, if they can get 2 or 3 stops in a row, it's almost the equivalent.
Exactly.
Trying to lift them up a little bit.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's where it's got to be. It's got to be a more and I know it's kind of cliche to say next play mentality, but we cannot worry about the results. Keep getting good shots and have good offensive possessions, and then give up the shots that we want to give up defensively. Whether they go in or not has got to matter less than how we get that done.
You're just about to have wrapped up play against everybody in the conference at least once. You've got a couple, you'll get to 2 before 1. But now you start watching the standings a little bit more, or?
Well, no. I mean, we're halfway through with a lot of basketball left and a lot of home games, so we got to focus on what's right in front of us. Obviously, have a good week of practice this week and get ready for Nichols. You've just seen through the course of the whole, everyone can beat everyone. A lot of competitive games, so you can't worry about that till the end. And again, that goes to the same thing. Like scoreboard watching or standings watching, it does you no good. You got to worry about the game in front of you.
Coach, you've said it a few times over the last months about how this conference has gotten so much better that, beyond maybe the top 1 or 2, teams are going to have 5 and 6 losses. It's going to be a logjam.
It's going to be a lot more than that. Third place has 5 losses. So
right now,
they're 3
halfway
games
through.
Exactly.
Woo.
So that's what it's our job as coaches to get our guys to understand. And it's hard. They're 20-something and they think the world's coming to an end. But you got to find a way to just get to the next game. And if we can keep that mindset throughout the course of a game, but just in general, when we show up to practice and show up to prepare, that gives you the best chance. Because if you don't and you start worrying about other stuff, you're going to not have success anyways.
Good to have Vinny Sagona back the other night. First thing he did, of course, step out and hit a 3.
Yeah, he missed some time, but just like anyone, because we hadn't practiced, he hadn't really practiced either. So he came out of the game healthy and got some run, and so hopefully that'll continue to, get better. And we need his production, and we need him to play well.
Coach, looking at the way that your roster, well, not the roster, but the rotation has shrunk a little bit. Some of these guys that maybe played more early, are they getting the part where if I do what the play said, I get more minutes?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of good players, and it's hard. They all can't play as much as they would like, obviously. But it's still an evolving Again, with a lot of games left, it's still who's healthy, who's playing well, who's, we're probably not going to go deeper than 8 or 9. Depending on the game, though. Foul trouble, you just never know how it's going to go. Somebody comes in, plays well, maybe their minutes get extended and somebody else's goes down. We're just worried about the end result as far as, putting the best 5 in the time that we think they can give us the best chance to get stops or score. So I'm not really thinking and going in with an exact rotation. We know the guys that have been consistent for us, and we'll see who else steps up. We need, especially at home, we need some of these guys to step up that haven't been consistent scorers or consistent minute guys. At home, those guys are traditionally supposed to play better or do play better, and so we're going to need that here in a lot of games at home.
All right. Thank goodness we got them, too. February is going to be a good time to come see some Lion basketball. Coach, thanks so much for your time this week, and we'll be out on the floor again before long.
You got it.
We're going to line up here, folks. Thanks, everybody. We'll be right back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Some more Inside Lion Athletics. Hey, we go from the indoor sports we've been frozen out lately to the outdoor sports where they don't really care right now, do you? Brian Dolehide, head coach of Lion Golf.
Yeah, it's been a weird week for sure with this snow. I mean, all the golf courses are covered right now, so snow's all melting and just waiting for them to uncover greens. But we're going to leave a little bit early for our next tournament, which is a women's event this weekend. So we'll leave tomorrow, actually.
Wow. Well, the roads are going to be in really good shape by then. There aren't too many of them that are slowing people down. I think we talked about this like back in the fall, but your indoor facilities, boy, how useful are they in weather like this?
Yeah, it's been amazing the last week or so. I mean, it's really helpful, especially with all the student athletes having different class schedules, kind of. We've been able to space out our time in there. Mm-hmm. So we've gotten some good practice in the last couple of days, and even with this terrible weather.
I know. Well, yeah. It's hard to putt.
Yeah. Not
at least
though.
Outside, right?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So tell us about the women's tournament that's coming up. They're first out of the box. Who's going to play? Who's going to do well?
Yeah, it's actually our earliest tournament we've had in a couple of years, February 2nd and 3rd. Yeah, we've only been able to play once or twice this semester. A lot of practice, so haven't gotten to see many scores. But the top of the list is always Marie B. She's been pretty phenomenal the last few years, and Linnea, she's been starting to play pretty well. So really looking forward to watching the girls play this week.
Are there going to be other Southland Conference teams there? Is it just a Division I tournament? Will we see some old Lone Star Conference pals? Or
It's a Division I tournament. It's Texas State's hosting it. We're going down to San Marcos, and there's going to be a couple of Southland Conference teams there, so get to see them pretty early, and then we'll see them throughout the semester too.
Now, y'all played at this course last year, didn't you? Didn't y'all have a tournament down there?
No, we didn't. Well, we had one down there, different golf course though.
Oh, okay.
That's where conference is. Actually, it's not in San Marcos. It's in New Braunfels.
Okay.
But right down the road.
It's just worst down there. It's a German town. Worst.
Yeah,
not W-O-R-S-T.
I don't know if you want to say that
I just
around.
killed Avi.
Our women's team is pretty German.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Well, they may want to eat. Let them pick where they eat, but only if they play well.
Yeah, exactly.
The courses down there in the hill country, kind of right on the edge of it, what are they? Do you get much hill in them, or are they along the Comal or the Guadalupe?
I haven't been out to this particular golf course, but the courses in the area that I've been to, pretty flat, Once you get out to like Kerrville and a little more out west, then it gets a little more hilly. But I'd say this course is probably going to be pretty flat.
Let it roll.
Mm-hmm.
What about the guys? What's up with them, and where are they off to when they get started?
Yeah, the guys will start next week. and we're going to go down to Montgomery, Houston. We've played this tournament the last couple of years. It's always cold down there whenever they host, and it's a tough track for sure. You know, our fall had some golf courses that were a bit more gettable and more possibility for birdies and things like that. I think next week we'll be happy with a bunch of pars and maybe sprinkle in a few birds.
Now, you said the school that's hosting it. Sam Houston's kind of their annual tourney, isn't it?
Right. Sam Houston and Rice, they co-host it.
Okay. So, a lot of familiar faces. You know, when golfers get to go head-to-head with guys, how's that dynamic around a collegiate tourney? Any different from any other time?
No, not really. I mean, you could probably ask our guys, but you put them up against anybody, they're going to play the same way. You know, you're not playing against other people, you're playing for yourself. And along with that, it helps out the team. So,
all right. So a week away from that tournament, have you got kind of your front five, your A team picked out of those? Does everybody play in this one, or?
No, we're just going to play 5 all semester. We've got 7 on the guys and 6 on the girls. So we haven't picked the roster for the guys yet. We're hoping to maybe play one more time before heading down to Montgomery. But we have Giannis and Davis, who played extremely well last semester, so they'll be making an appearance for sure.
All right, very good. We going to be hosting one? Do we have one this year?
No, we do not.
Not yet?
We do not, no.
Are you looking forward to having one? Where do you want to have it, down at the beach or?
Well, Sulphur Springs has been pretty great to us, so potentially in the future out there.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll look to see some golf then. What else up for the team? You're all ready to go and do this every week now. It's not quite that regular, though, is it?
Yeah, it'll be probably every other week for each team. So we basically scheduled out girls, guys, things like that, just so we can, have a little bit of a preparation time between tournaments, and also so I could get out to each event.
There you go. Lockstep for Coach. He's got to do it. Clint, it's just rolled around so fast. One of these days we're going to get out there and watch them, or maybe even hit a few if it's a practice sometimes. Y'all go to Sulphur Springs for all of that, don't you?
Yeah, occasionally. Sulphur's a great golf course. One of our assistant coaches, he works out there, and his wife is the head golf pro out there. So we've been able to get some access out there due to them. So it's been pretty great. They have some phenomenal facilities, but yeah, we're playing out at Rockwall Golf and Athletic Club, and we love it out there too.
All right, man. I know you do. All right, I guess that's going to do it for this golf segment. The women are up this weekend. The guys are going to be out there next week, and they'll be signing scorecards.
That's right.
We're going to line up here. Thanks a lot, folks. Stick around. We've got more to come after this on Inside Lion Athletics. Welcome back, everybody. Some more of Inside Lion Athletics. We've been to the men's basketball. We've been to the golf course. Now we get women's basketball, and the ladies are playing tonight. Got Valerie King here with us. New Orleans will be in the house this evening. Coach, how good it is to be home.
Yeah, it feels like we haven't been home in weeks, which we haven't.
Like almost last year.
Yeah,
it
January,
would seem.
maybe 10th, 8th or 10th, something like that. So
yeah, that was a long time
It's been
ago.
a while.
Yeah.
We're ready to be home. It's
Yes,
good to
we
be home.
are. Yeah, you don't have to get used to which rim is just so. You already know that. So when everybody goes to the fix and feed free throw line, they're just, 8 out of 10 every time. That would work.
That definitely
I would take
work.
8 out of 10.
Me too.
All right, tell us how the last couple of weeks been. It's been probably the toughest road stretch in a while, but you gained something from those in preparation for what's left, because there's still plenty of time to get into the conference tournament.
Yeah, obviously we've had a cup, long stretch on the road. 3, one got postponed, but obviously remarkable progress in the Lamar game. Obviously, we didn't come out ahead and didn't get the win, but you can see a lot of progress made within those 3 days of practice after the Incarnate Word Houston Christian weekend. So really proud of our kids for that. And then you stumble into, a little bit more of a setback with all the ice and snow. So, obviously back in here practicing Monday actually gave us a few extra days to work on things for us instead of prepping. So that was good, getting our mindset back to where it needed to be after the Lamar game, and just moving forward. Continuing to see progress on the defensive end, making some adjustments on the offensive end so the ball is getting moving and not just stuck in one person's hands the whole possession.
I was talking to Rose earlier about the way his guys are trying to break out of some of these 2, 3, and 4 minute scoreless skids. How do you work it with your team?
I think it's calling attention to it in practice, you and I talked about last week and the week before, just implementing some new drills, so that, it's tangible. They see it. They know if we're going 2 trips on the offensive end and we haven't scored, if we're going on the defensive end and we haven't gotten a stop. So I think that's really played into their mindset and knowing, okay, we need to get a good shot this possession, and not just taking the first quick shot. You can really see the difference when we're in practice with them, just the 5 on the floor knowing that they shouldn't take it, and let's work to get a layup or a step in 3 or just a better shot in general. So you can see it, and it's working.
Rose was talking about how important it is that they not take off the defensive play that follows a missed shot.
That's correct.
And how you can get your mojo back a little bit with 2 or 3 straight stops, whether you've scored or not. And, finally.
That's correct. And, I think like we were talking about, one of the drills we've really been pressing into our kids, is you can't get a point like how we're scoring it until you get a stop and a score, or a score and a stop. So it's, like I said, those things are tangible. They can see it, they can feel it, and it's making sure that they know that each possession is just as important as the next.
How many of your exercises in practice to this effect have started with a bucket and then a steal at the other end and turned it into a layup? Is that within the rules of the new game?
Yeah, that's absolutely within the rules. We started on defense every single time.
Okay.
So that's, I think that's generating some, defensive accountability, making sure all 5 are on the same page as soon as we start whatever possession we're in, and playing out of that. So, but yeah, it gets going. At one point yesterday, we played for 8.5 minutes, and we were playing to 5 points. Whichever team got to 5 points first. So it was a long stretch. It kind of tests our mental toughness, our conditioning. It tests a lot of different things for us right now, but it's been really good.
So in 8.5 minutes of clock time, and only 5 first team to 5, that's a battle.
Yeah, it is a battle, especially when you only get a point if you get a stop and a score back-to-back, or a score and a stop. So it is. It's a mental battle, and I think not only are we learning the shots we need to take, or we need to really tighten up on the defensive end, whichever one it is. It's all working on our mental toughness and just how tough we really have to be out there to see changes and not just let things continue to unravel.
You talk about toughness, and in this conference, I think everybody would agree this conference got tougher from last year to this, not on just the men's side, but on the women's side as well.
Yeah, I think this is our 3rd year. I thought it was really, really good last year. I think it's probably another step up this year. There's never a night off. So, that mentality plays into it too. Like not just us, you can't take a day off. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are in the standings. You've got to be prepared to play, and you've got to have your mind right.
Coach, when you've got, it's kind of hard to do this because it's apples and oranges, but the guys have the KenPom ratings, and that's tons of data. What's the equivalent to that for women's basketball?
I think
the net rankings give you a ranking, but
the women's side is net rankings. That's very tangible, results and stuff. That's what it is right now. There's a new one out. I'm on a committee, the RAC committee that votes for top 20 in our South region. So I do that once every 3 weeks. I do it like 3 or 4 times throughout the season. So I've learned quite a lot about it. There's actually a new thing this year. It's called the WOB, and it takes into account like who you're playing, what their net is, and like how many points you're scoring, all that kind of stuff. So there's another little thing that's thrown in there this year, but yeah, net is the main thing, and your opponents.
Is the WOB, is that an industry creation? Like, did the NCAA make that as
I'm not sure who
database, or did somebody
new.
just crunch it?
Yeah, it's just new number data, and it's. I don't understand all of it at this point. So.
Good, that's 2 of us.
I know. I got to do a little
kind of was
research.
hoping I could ask you, cheat off of your test.
Sorry. I'm still learning.
Well, no, that's
Yeah.
I didn't know there was another website up for that, because for rankings besides the net, you've got Massey ratings, and I think that's kind of it on the women's side.
Yeah.
On the men's side, they've got Ken Palm,
Right.
the what I just said, and then one other, I think, Massey, Ken Palm, and the net ranking. Yeah. So anyway, all right. Well, tell us about the game tonight. We've got the Privateers in town for their one visit a year.
Yeah. New Orleans, they're always a scrappy team defensively. They play super fast on the offensive end. They want to play in transition as much as they can. We have to take care of the ball. Because that's where they excel, is turning people over, going to get easy baskets. So we have to take care of the ball. We've got to meet our passes. We've got to make good passes. We've got to get the right shot. And in turn, our defensive transition has to be really, really good tonight. And overall, it's been really good. I think we're only giving up like 0.7 points per possession in defensive transition, which is really good. So we've really got to rely on that tonight. Our ball stoppers got to do their job, not getting blown by, and everybody else has got to get back and get matched up.
New Orleans comes into this match with just 1 win on the whole year. But, Coach, those can be the most dangerous teams to play the longer their streak goes.
Right, they are. They are. I think it's, a team that New Orleans, they fight. They never give up. They always think they're in the game, and they are. They were down 14 to Southeastern Louisiana, I think, in the fourth quarter, and came back. That was their win for the year.
Yep.
So they don't stop. They don't give up. They continue to play, even when things aren't going their way. So that's what our mentality has to be. It's not over till the buzzer ends.
Rose said that, and he talked about this back in November, way back when we started all this, that you've got teams, you might have 1 or 2 clear favorites, but beyond 1 or 2, it's wide open. And right now, I think third place on the men's division has 5 losses. I mean, it doesn't take long for them to stack up. It's a bar fight in the Southland.
It is. I mean, I think, the middle of the pack in our league is probably about the same there, and I mean, anybody can win any given night. Anybody can lose. So just got to show up and be ready.
All right, well, let's go for the win side tonight.
That's right.
All right, we're going to line up here, folks.
Welcome back to another edition of the Inside Line Athletics Podcast with track and field coach George Pincock. Coach, last week we saw you were getting ready to go to College Station, and Mother Nature had other ideas.
Yeah, coming off the first week at Oklahoma, excited to kind of get into week 2. But like you said, Mother Nature had other plans, and here we are now.
Now you're getting ready to go to New Mexico this weekend for the New Mexico Team Open, a facility that we've been to in the past. What have you obviously with the weather, what have you been able to do with the team going into that week?
Yeah, again, I think there's kind of anytime you have to cancel travel and get away from your planned season, I think the vibe of the team, the mentality is a little set back. So the first couple days in the weather, it was really just kind of make sure that we're rallying the troops, making sure everyone understands that we have a plan, making sure that we're checking on their needs, but also conveying the message that, hey, we may lose this opportunity, but we're hoping to add this opportunity here in New Mexico this week.
Talk about the New Mexico meet. Obviously, a lot of schools that were in a similar boat that like ours last week, where they lost their scheduled meet, are now kind of figuring things out this week and probably going to end up in New Mexico as well.
New Mexico is one of those places. It's a kind of a destination, a great indoor facility set up there in their convention center in Albuquerque. You have the benefit of altitude, so you'll see teams from all over the nation come in and compete there. So we've been there once as a team. I think it was 2022, maybe even 2021.
Yeah.
A while back, but I've been back since with JT for a USA Championship. I went back with Kiara for a USA Championship, and had a lot of success there. So I'm excited to go there with the team. I think they're well prepared, and just to get them in that environment and see what they do.
And obviously going into this week now, with that off week gone, you basically got 3 meets before the conference indoor championships, and so each meet kind of becomes crucial as you head into this home stretch a little bit of the indoor season.
Yeah, you kind of have to look at the team and the makeup of the team, and decide what opportunities you might need to take a little earlier than later, and just make sure that you're lining those pieces up. So the end of February at Southland Conference Championship, we're putting out there the best team that we can, that we're trying to score points in every event area and really make an attempt to leave no stone unturned.
Preparing for that conference meet, we've just kind of seen one conference team, and that was Incarnate Word at Oklahoma. Do you kind of look around and see what the other schools are doing, or do you kind of just wait until you're at a similar meet when the athletes are competing against each other on the same surface?
Yeah, I try not to, but I try not to try to pay attention to what the other conference schools are doing, but it's hard not to. So you kind of know, you kind of see, you look through results, you see where some programs are really strong, or some programs are having a lot of success early, and so you have those things in your mind. But I think just like any sport, you try not to panic. You try to stick to your plan, try to go back to what you know and how you've built your team, and trust those people.
Awesome. Well, Coach, thank you so much for stopping by. Safe travels this weekend. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thanks, Avi.
As always, go Lions.